Hey everyone, what's going on? Today I figured I'd make an update video on how to play Spider-Man Miles Morales in Linux, and I guess I will begin by comparing and contrasting my original Linux setup compared to now and what makes the difference between playability. And that is that at the time I made my first how to play, well I guess how to play and first 30 minutes video, both of them, I was running Pop! OS 22.04 LTS and Mesa driver version 22.2.0. I had Linux kernel 6.0 dash whatever variant of the kernel that Pop! OS was running, but it's Linux kernel 6 that is identical to what I'm running now, just the Manjaro version of the kernel. And now we're using Mesa Git, which is 23.0.0, a much more up-to-date Mesa driver. So basically the issue that I was having in Pop! OS was there was terrible lighting issues in Spider-Man Miles Morales at nighttime specifically. It made the game unplayable. Be sure to check out my video on my channel and just see what was happening. It's pretty funny. I kind of couldn't believe my eyes, but it was a situation to be in for sure. And I was very disappointed because, it was Steam Deck verified a couple days before it came out, and I was like, okay, well, surely like Spider-Man Remastered, it's just going to work. But it didn't. Unfortunately, it didn't just work. It almost just worked, but not quite. So the differences between Pop! OS 22.04 and Arch, or Manjaro, which is based on Arch, and Pop! OS is based on Ubuntu, which is then, based on Debian. The biggest difference is not my Linux kernel. They're very similar. Same features, stuff like that, for the most part. I'm assuming they're pretty close together. The biggest difference is, first off, this is an Arch-based distribution, but that really shouldn't make much of a difference. I've tested this also on Nobara, which is a Fedora-based distribution, so... And not to mention, in the comments, I had a conversation with another user that actually I recommended installing Mesa Git on his Pop! OS 22.04 install, and he got the game working by doing that also. I could have done that, but I kind of prefer other distros over Pop! OS, which is the entire reason why I'm using Manjaro now. So that is the reason, but you can make it work in other distributions. You just have to have Mesa version 22.2.3 or above in order for the lighting bug to not persist. Now, maybe it'll get patched out. Something will come downstream into Proton or the Mesa driver that fixes it. But in my opinion, the easiest way is to just upgrade to a newer Mesa driver, and that will not only fix the issue in Spider-Man, but probably give you better performance in most of your games anyway. At least that's what my experience with it is. Alright, so we can verify what Linux kernel we're running by opening up the terminal and typing in uname space -r. You can see we're running 6.0.8-1 Manjaro. And we can hit the start menu button on our keyboard and type in settings. I don't know why my certain keys are double inputting. That's very annoying. Go to our settings here, and we're just going to scroll down and look at About down here. And you can see that we are, in fact, running Manjaro Linux. Rolling release, 64-bit, GNOME version 43.1, and the X11 windowing system. This does support Wayland, but I choose to use X11 just because it works better for me. I have less issues. And we can check our Mesa version by coming back over to the terminal and typing in, my bad, glx info space grep Mesa, just like this. You can see that we're running Mesa 23.0.0 development, the Git version. And our computer hardware is, of course, a Ryzen 7 5700G CPU, an RX 6600 GPU, 16 gigs of DDR4 running at 3200 megahertz, and we are running the game off of our 512 gigabyte NVMe boot drive. So now we can open up Steam, come over here. We are running Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales with Proton Experimental, just like we were in the other video. And we will just click play. And what we will do is just switch to nighttime and verify that the lighting bug is no longer a persistent issue, no longer an issue, period. I've actually almost totally 100% of this game. I've been playing a lot of God of War Ragnarok, so I've kind of fallen off on it, but I've played quite a bit of this game in Linux. It's worked very well. So we're running everything at 1080p native resolution, no upscaling, with vignetting, chromatic aberration, and depth of field turned off, motion blur, film grain set to 0, and sharpness set to 5. We can actually disable that launcher. I recommend doing that. It's kind of annoying. You're going to get this in most Linux distributions. Apparently Proton Next is supposed to fix that. So maybe that won't be a problem when Proton 7.05 comes out, or whatever it's going to be called. So now we just wait for the game to load. You can see we have a frame rate counter in the upper hand left corner of the screen there. That's not very important. The game runs very well on my hardware. Actually runs better in Linux, funnily enough, than it does in Windows. Right now I'm dropping mad frames, but I'm rendering a video out in Kdenlive and screen recording. So what I'm actually going to do now to give us the best visual experience is select window capture, and we're just going to window capture Miles Morales. We are not going to full screen capture. For some reason that just lags out the image. So we're basically just waiting. We loaded in pretty instantly, and we're already set to nighttime. And as you can see, there is no terrible lighting bug like there is in my initial first 30 minutes video. So I left pinned comments and information in the description of those videos describing the issue and giving some insight into what might fix it, stuff like that. But I am glad that I took this opportunity to make a video actually saying it out loud, because it's a rather important information. If you are using a Linux distribution with an AMD graphics card and a Mesa version, anything below 22.2.3, chances are you're going to have some really weird issues in this game. Like I said, I don't know if it's been patched, it might have been, but last time I played it like that, it was not working. And the version of Manjaro that I'm running, by the way, the latest release of Manjaro GNOME, the only thing that I've done to modify this is I've upgraded the Linux kernel and I've upgraded my Mesa version. So Manjaro actually ships with Manjaro, or not Manjaro, sorry, Mesa 22.2.2 or 0, I believe. Maybe 22.2.3, I don't think so. I could be wrong. But we upgraded to Mesa Git, of course, and it comes with Linux kernel 5.15. So I actually went to the Manjaro settings manager and manually installed Linux kernel 6, the latest non-RC or experimental kernel, and then I went to the AUR repository and installed Mesa Git. If you install Nobara, it comes with Mesa 22.2.3 once you run updates. That's the version that you will have, and it has the latest Linux kernel also, FSync variant, and this game also runs beautifully on there. So if you want the easiest way, you just want to install Linux and play Miles Morales, or maybe you're looking for a new distro that will run the game well, I would recommend Nobara, but you can also easily achieve similar results in Manjaro Linux. You just have to put in a little bit more effort, you know, by enabling the AUR repository, finding Mesa Git, installing it. And I've had issues in the past where Mesa Git has not installed because I couldn't find all of the packages necessary in the software repositories, but that has not been an issue in months. So I would say it's probably safe to assume you're not going to have that issue. But with that being said, as you can see, the game is running very well. Manjaro is an excellent Linux distribution. I highly recommend it. You have to put in a little bit more effort than Nobara, but they're both excellent choices. Depends on what you like better, Fedora's base or the Arch base. I honestly have spent more time with Arch, so I think I prefer it. And I love the AUR repository. It's excellent. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I wish that I could form a sentence properly. I'm sorry. And if you did, be sure to leave a like, turn on notifications after you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys very soon with some more videos. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video, and if you have any recommendations for games that you would like me to test in Linux, let me know, and maybe we can work something out. I've got like 400 games in my library, so I would totally be down for suggestions. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon.